Ladies and gentlemen, welcome here to Turfette Radio. I got the Turfette here with me, hanging out here in downtown Louisville, Kentucky. We're trying to get the audio good to go. Because that degree in music comes into play, don't it, sweetie?
Yes, sir.
Oh, me. Are you tired yet, sweetie?
I am starting to wind down
Why is that?
so that I can go to bed and then wind right back up for tomorrow morning.
Yeah, it's no stopping, is it?
No. We were on the road by 7:30 this morning. Now we're on the radio.
We were on the radio this morning, too.
We were.
Darren did our show, and
Yeah.
we were able to actually call in and talk about 45 minutes with him. That was actually fun.
I'm running on 6 hours of sleep over a consecutive 48 hours.
Yeah,
So I might be a little tired.
just a little bit, huh?
Just a little.
Oh, man. And we got a full day tomorrow setting up the booth.
We do, but that's okay.
Yeah, that'll actually be fun. I don't think it'll take us long, especially if Wayne and Daniel come and help us a little bit. We'll be able to knock it out. But anyway, guys, it is so awesome to be finally back in Louisville, Kentucky. And, man, this place is happening. Downtown's already booming, and you can tell who is vendors and who are attendees. The vendors they're already tired. They've been working hard setting up their booths, and especially the ones with the larger booths. Those are just absolutely crazy. But, we had a chance to go today, but we talked to Wayne, and we decided just to kind of come on to the Airbnb, and I'm actually glad we did because we ran and got some food. We had to run to Best Buy. I was looking for some batteries for the camera, which they didn't have, and then we were able to set up here and do the show tonight. So, wow.
I will be ready to go to bed. I will not lie.
It is like you said. We are operating on about 6 hours of sleep within a 48-hour period. Saturday night was rough with the tires going flat on Jared's car and having to get up early and get him fixed on Sunday morning before we packed up and did everything to be ready to go in Louisville.
I mean, we've had a week of
Cars breaking down.
bad situations happen with our cars. And I will say this, the apartment that we're staying in downtown Louisville does not have a lot of it's all hardwoods. And so it's very echoey in here.
It is.
So if y'all hear echoes, we apologize because we are airing live from downtown Louisville, Kentucky.
Right beside the old spaghetti factory.
Well, we are in the spaghetti factory, but it's the Levy building.
Yeah.
So we are in the condos here in the Levy building right here off of 4th Street. So we are literally in downtown, where all the live action is happening.
Yeah, we're just 1 block away from 4th Street. And actually, we drove up to CVS. So we had to get a couple things that we had forgotten. And it's right there on the corner. And then there is the entrance to 4th Street Live. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be happening here in the next few nights. But
I'm looking forward to it. I have accepted the fact that I'm not going to get much sleep this week.
you will on the way home Saturday.
I don't know. There were several times today I wanted to lay my head over and go to sleep, but I didn't want to leave you alone, knowing that we both are running on little sleep. So I tried to keep you awake and keep me awake today.
Well, you know what kept me awake was your conversations, but we were listening to Turfette Radio the entire way up here.
We did, which is unusual for us to have the time to sit and listen to the radio station all day. But we did.
Yeah, that was good.
It was nice. No kids or dogs. Although we love our kids and dogs, so don't take us wrong. We love our kids and our dogs. But it has been nice for Eric and I to slip away
and actually talk.
And yeah, we had 8 hours of uninterrupted conversation today.
Yeah. And so many people ask, Eric, why do you drive to Louisville? Like, why do you drive to Equip Expo? For one, there's no way we could have got everything we needed to make this week happen on a plane.
No, that would have been a nightmare.
A horrible nightmare. And the fact is, we have one of the most beautiful drives through West Virginia. And seeing the horse farms in Kentucky, it was worth it to drive. And to be able to hold your hand the whole time, listening to Turf's Up Radio.
And you know, the funny thing is I can hear people ask the question now, what did you find to talk about for 8 hours?
But we were nonstop.
You're together 24/7. What do you find to talk about?
Everything
if you
under
only
the sun.
knew.
Yeah. But it was so much fun, and it was so relaxing. It was just, we took our time. We weren't in a rush like we were last year, because even though we left a lot earlier last year, we still got up here at the same time. But we brought 7 people with us. We brought the whole crew with us, all the employees, the crew leaders, and we got up here. And I guess just because of the stops and everything, but we got up on a Tuesday, and immediately as soon as we put down our luggage, we were running to Merle's Kitchen to meet up with Mitchell Gordy and those guys. And it was, I don't know, it just felt rushed. Today has felt relaxed. We're doing our show 8 to 9 tonight. And then we've already got our shows on the TV with the volume down. We're going to be able to just chill here on the couch for a little bit or actually get some sleep. Mm-hmm. So, you know,
I was telling you today that this time last year, you and I were newly engaged.
Yes.
Seriously, just a few days.
Yeah, just a few days. I proposed to you a few days before we
You proposed to me on Saturday and we left on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So what, 3 days?
Yeah.
3 days as the fiance of the turf teacher.
That's true.
And you know, I was living 45 minutes away from you, so trying to pack myself up, make sure the boys were packed, and then be there and ready to go, and everybody pull out on time Tuesday morning at 5:30. I just was reminiscing about that last year, the complications of living 45 minutes away and trying to navigate all of that. But we done it, and
we did it.
We had a blast. My boys went with us last year because we needed camera people.
Yeah.
And so they came along. This year they didn't get to come. Jared is in diesel mechanic school, and he cannot take more than 5 absences in a row. And there was just no way he was going to be able to do that this year. So he couldn't come with us. And then Jaden, this is his senior year of high school. And so he's got a lot of responsibilities. So he didn't want to slip away for the whole week, which totally understandable.
Yeah.
And your girls don't show any interest in coming to Louisville, Kentucky. So there was no.
Summer might now that she's
That's
at NC
true.
State,
That's true.
So.
She might. She definitely would. I could see the interest there. But this year has been kind of nice.
Just you and I.
Yeah, just you and me.
Yeah. And what's funny, we haven't seen a soul that we know yet, or at least people
not yet.
Or people hadn't screamed, "Hey, it's the turf teacher or Turfette."
I've seen people out on the streets that I've pinpointed and said, "I bet they're going to the Equip Expo."
Oh yeah. You can tell they're
there's just a look.
They have that green industry look.
Yeah, there's just a look that comes with it. Yep, they're here for the expo.
So, but yeah, and I'm so glad to be up here. It's it's Christmas. It really is. This is the big event. We were talking about coming up here though. Is this more fun than going to the beach? And you're like, no, the beach, because it's real relaxed and everything. And we always go to the beach in August. And so this was our first year as a family vacation together. And we spent a week at Sunset Beach. And it was immediately right after the irrigation rush or the landscape contractor rush. So we got all the classes done, all the continuing education online done. And then we vámonos a la casa to Myrtle Beach or Sunset Beach. And I feel guilty when I go there because what happens when we go to the beach? We chill. We relax.
We do chill. And, as business owners, when everything is ran at a certain momentum, and if anybody's listening, Eric runs at a certain speed.
Gotta go,
very
radio.
steadily runs at that speed. which I can keep up with him to a certain extent. I mean, I do. I keep up. I mean, I'm tired, but I keep up. And, you know, knowing that you run at that momentum, when you take that week off for the beach, you get into that relaxed mode. And then once you're in that relaxed mode, you automatically fall prey to guilt.
Yes.
For relaxing.
Yeah.
And I had to get on to you at the beach, just like, Eric, you don't understand.
It's okay to chill.
You go so much that your body literally needs rest.
Yeah.
It's okay to sleep in past 7 o'clock on vacation day.
It's
okay. But I think a lot of it is you have to give yourself permission to rest, and you don't.
No.
You don't give yourself permission.
I never will. Like it's I don't call our business or our job or even this radio station a job. It is a passion. It is a love that needs to be satisfied all the time. And if I couldn't run at the pace that I do, I just don't think I would be happy. I don't think I could be that software engineer that's working in a cubicle 9 to 5, with an hour or 30-minute lunch, and then come home and sit on the couch. I just couldn't do it.
I grew up in a family of men that are farmers, and a farmer's job is never done. It's never completed. But I do remember my mom and my grandmother having dinner cooked on the table by 5:30, 6 o'clock. My dad, my grandpa, mosey in, eat their dinner, and then they call it a day until, something else happens at the farm that night. But you, however, you are nonstop. I mean, from the time you jump up out of the bed to the time you go to bed, it is literally, you are a 220 live wire.
But when I do lay down at night, what happens?
Out.
It's instantaneous.
You're out. Like last night, you were literally sitting up in the bed, leaning up against the pillows. You hadn't even gotten out of your clothes. You just sat down, and you have some issues with your legs. And so I bought you these massaging boots to put on your legs for circulation. And I had you literally wrapped up in your boots, sitting there watching TV.
You don't give us trade secrets away.
I come back out of the bedroom, and by the time I got back in there, you literally were out cold. Sitting up in the bed with your massaging things on, just out cold. I was like, this fella, it don't take much for him to go to sleep, but you deserve sleep. You deserve rest. Because
I just lost cool points.
If these men would be honest, they would all tell you they have their things that they do too, and it's probably not something they want to post on Facebook. Maybe they feel that it takes away their man card. But guys, taking care of yourself should be a priority. I understand taking care of your wife and kids is a priority. But
if you don't take care of yourself, how are you going to take care of your family? You
can't take care of anybody else. Yeah. So I have to fuss at Eric all the time and say, babe, you need to sit down, take a beat. Take a load off your feet. Sit down. Yeah. It's okay. Take 30 minutes if you need to take 30 minutes. He just feels guilty when he does. I mean, I hate that for him. Oh, Darren says him and Miss Kitty are listening. So hi back to you guys. I hope you guys are enjoying your Monday night.
I wonder where they're eating dinner. It sounded like he was in dinner. Darren, where are you having dinner at? Or is it at home?
Well, we had dinner here in the apartment.
We had B-dubs.
We went to Buffalo Wild Wings because you love their wings. And so Eric had him some wings tonight. I had a few bites of the cauliflower wings, but I wasn't really that hungry.
I ate 10 wings and some cheese curds and a big old glass of Coke.
When I get to this point where I'm nearing the edge of exhaustion, I'm not hungry.
True. Yeah. There is a time that you want to sleep before you eat.
Yeah.
And we're on that.
I'm right there.
Could you imagine coming up here tomorrow though?
Oh no. I'm glad. I am so glad we came up today instead of waiting and coming up tomorrow, because last year last year was my first time in Kentucky for the Equip Expo. I had no idea what to expect. So my adrenaline was already rushing from the fact we were newly engaged. Now I'm taking a trip with you and my 2 boys. So now my boys and I are getting to go with you to the Equip Expo. We also brought our crew with us, our landscaping crew with us. So I was running on little sleep, high adrenaline.
Yeah.
And now that I know what to expect and I know what the week is going to look like, and you do too, you and I talked about coming up a day early. And now that, we're with Turfette Radio this year, which is one of the big changes for us, we're back with Turfette Radio. We are up here now setting up a booth because now we have we're exhibitors this year. So we just felt it was wise for us to come up a day early. And now I'm so glad we did.
Yeah. I thought Wayne was going to pick us up in the Rolls Royce and drive us around like as a chauffeur, because we're staying in this beautiful place that is like in the lobbies of the Victorian age. So I feel like I'm at Downton Abbey.
Well, no, it's not really Downton Abbey. Downton Abbey is very Victorian. When you walk into this building, I feel like I'm walking into the 1920s.
Which was there? They were
more of a modern twist to that century, or not century, but that decade of people. I mean, were coming out of that restrictive Victorian gilded age,
and they were more 1910.
Yeah, in the early, up until the 1920s.
So here being in America, and this building is old, like you said, is more 1920-ish.
I would say its heyday was in the 20s and 30s in this building. I could totally feel it when I walk in the door. Like, I feel like I'm stepping back a whole century.
And just a very unfamiliar fragrance when you walk in. I can't determine what it is.
Well, it's a mixture of fragrances. It's that old building smell. But the spaghetti factory, we're literally in the same building as the old spaghetti factory. So,
so am I spelling spaghetti? But
it
was more of a musk skunk smell.
It might be the old carpets. I mean, really, it could be coming from the carpets.
A couple of them were stained.
Yeah. Now, guys, we don't make it sound like we're in a podunk place.
No,
we're really not.
We're in a super nice
place.
The
condos themselves are very nice. I mean, when I walk in here, I feel like I've stepped into New York City downtown apartment.
True. Yeah.
That's what I feel like. It's
in this room.
Right.
Yes.
The hallways, the corridors to the actual condos kind of have that hotel. Yeah, it does have a Friends feel. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Oh, that kind of made me happy. Y'all don't understand. I am a huge.
There's 3 things that make this woman happy. Is the Andy Griffith Show, Friends, and listening to Michael Bublé. Bublé. I can't never get his name right.
Yes.
But if I want to make her happy and make her feel like a princess, it's turn on Andy Griffith, Friends. You got your Friends blanket that you're going to curl up with.
Yeah.
And then we fall asleep listening to Michael Bublé.
Which you bought that for me.
Yes. I know what you like, and I know how to make you happy.
But it does have that Friends apartment complex feel. It's exactly.
Or what's the other downtown New York? Seinfeld, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's that's what it feels like when you walk into this building.
But like when you're in downtown New York, like I love New York. Like I love the people, I love the smell, I just love the concrete jungle.
It's the hustle and bustle.
It is the hustle. It's the city that never sleeps.
Mm-hmm.
We encountered a lot of homeless people tonight, just laying on the sidewalk and stuff when we were walking around. That's, it's a sad situation. I feel sorry for them. But like in New York, it's like there's so many people that it's like you said, are hustling and bustling and working. The city that works 24/7.
Yeah.
So.
I love the feel of this building. And you know what just hit me when I said a century ago? It has truly been a century since the 20s.
Yeah.
We're in the 20s and the 2000s.
We're 2025.
I was born in the 70s, and it's hard for me to sit here and think, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, look how far we have come. And now, of course, I wasn't alive in the 20s, but, You know, my
But
grandparents.
my
grandparents were.
The house we live in was built in 19. Was it 23 or was it?
It was 23.
23. And my grandmother was born. I think she was born in 23. I think she was born in 1923. Because it's weird. And then we got these large oaks in our tree, in our yard. There's a picture of my grandmother standing in front of one that you could see the top of it. Like it wasn't fully grown. And that's been, over 100 years. So it's crazy.
Time flies. You know, you and I, we were driving back over the bridge across the river here in Louisville. We were talking about how it felt like it was just
yesterday
that we were here, and it's been a complete year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we drove into Indiana tonight to go to Best Buy.
We did. We drove into. There's a little boy that used to go to my church, and there's a town in northwest Indiana called Hammond. Like the Hammond organs. It's called Hammond, Indiana, and he couldn't say that, so he would say Hanny, Indiana.
Hanny, Indiana.
He said, "Yeah, we went to Hanny, Indiana." So now every time I hear Indiana, I think of that little boy, Hanny, Indiana.
Well, I think my favorite part of the trip coming up today was visiting your old roots in Odd, West Virginia.
Oh, gosh. If anybody understands that reference.
If not, look it up.
What makes Odd, West Virginia special?
Or what makes it odd.
Or what makes Odd odd. You'll need to Google that. So if anybody's listening and you don't know what is in Odd, West Virginia, I would recommend to go do a Google.
I wouldn't Google it if I was by myself and, spooked by things.
No, it ain't like that. It ain't like that.
A little bit.
But it is an interesting documentary that took place in this town of Odd, West Virginia. So
what is there's a movie kind of based on it.
I don't know.
The guys were in the river rafts and they get...
Oh, that... Deliverance. If you hear banjos, paddle faster.
Dang.
And you know what? I watched that movie maybe 2-3 years ago. And I had seen it before, but it had been years. When you see something when you're younger, you don't really register everything that's happening in that movie. I think the only reason why I even liked the movie was the Foggy Mountain breakdown that they play with this family outside with the banjos. It was kind of like they thought they were connecting with this family.
Yeah.
But when I went back to watch it again, number one, I was shocked at the details of this movie because somehow that did not register with me the first time. Second of all, the bad acting. It was such bad acting. And I was like, really? I look back and I'm like, man, we have come such a long way.
What year was it produced?
I think it was in the 70s. Hang on, I can tell you. Yeah, 1972. 1972. And Burt Reynolds was in this movie, so I would have figured there would have been better actors. Or he's a great, phenomenal actor, but the acting in the movie was just...
You thought it'd been better studio production.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the way they acted, responded, and moved with the flow of the scene. It hit flat. It just wasn't a full. I don't know. I can't describe it. It just fell flat. It was very underwhelming as far as the acting itself goes. Now the storyline, at some point in the movie, you're like, okay, let's move on to the next scene. Enough of this, but the acting itself, I just felt like it wasn't hitting like we can hit today when it comes to acting. We've come a long way with actors really stepping into a role and not just acting. They become that character. They put so much time and effort into research of the time, like the era that character lives in, the lifestyle of that character, that sometimes they'll even go and understand the mindset. So now it becomes a psychological side of the character.
A lot of them, they have anxiety separation, or they don't want to leave that character. Like Johnny Depp playing, Captain Jack Sparrow. Mm-hmm. Like he did not want to not be Jack Sparrow anymore. Like he loved it so much.
Well, he embodied that character so well. I mean, he just, they two became one. I mean, He is
Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow. He is. And it's really sad that there won't be another movie ever made because of the fallout between him and Disney. I mean, it's just sad at what happened.
Wow.
And apparently based on some exaggerated marital issues that we have all seen play out over the last few years. But I love that movie. That series. It's really good.
Yeah. Well, guys, let's take a quick break here. We're gonna be right back here in just a moment. We are live downtown Louisville here at Equip Expo. We're gonna talk more about the expo when we get here. When we get back here from the commercial break. So please do not go nowhere. And we are not too far from Broadway. We're only about 2 hours from where we sit to Nashville, Tennessee. And we had actually thought about hopping on 65 South when we pack up the trade show booth Friday and headed down to Broadway.
That would be fun.
That would be fun.
I'm all for it.
You're all for it?
I've never been to Nashville. With as deep into music as I am.
You've not been to Nashville, yeah.
I've never been to Nashville.
It's a good place. It is a good place, my friend. It is a good place. But let's talk Expo. You saw some news on Facebook, and you started doing a little bit of research.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit scary.
It is. Okay, guys, if you're listening, I want you to hear me and hear me loud when I say this. And I'm totally having a deja vu moment. I don't know how this happened because I know this moment has never occurred and I've never had this conversation before. But if you're going to book a room for next Equip Expo in 2026, that's 1 year from today, hotels right here in downtown Louisville are already at capacity for next year. I literally saw somebody post something in an Equip Expo board online, and I was like, wait a minute, let me go look. I looked at 3 separate hotels right here. You know,
the ones that we like Galt House, full.
Galt House is full. There's
Omni.
No accommodations. Omni was full. One of the Airbnbs that we looked at is full. It's not available. I have not researched further. There's Hampton Inn, there's Embassy Suites, there's the Hilton.
There's the Hilton downtown.
There's a couple more that's right here in this, within these few blocks. But the 3 that I had time to research before we came on air, completely booked. No availability.
For next year.
For
October
next year.
21st, 2026.
Right. So if you're going to come to Equip Expo next year, good luck finding a hotel room.
Yeah.
I don't understand what's happening. I don't understand if it's all Equip Expo or if it's people buying rooms at bulk and reselling them. Because, sometimes Expedia.com,
they'll do that.
They will buy blocks of rooms to sell at cheaper prices. The hotels have to save like so many rooms for that anyway. But I don't know. I don't know if there's somebody buying blocks of rooms or if it's really... or if there's another big event happening next year.
Yeah, at the same time, maybe. I don't know. But, we had a phone call when we were in Virginia. We owe him a hat, so he better find us.
I know, right?
He came to our wedding, and he was saying that he had trouble finding hotels. Or the hotel that he was in got canceled. He didn't know because of maybe some fire damage or sprinkler damage or whatever. But Lamont, if you're listening, let us know what actually happened. And then, we were talking to Rich Martin. I don't think they were able to find a room. So that's way out there.
I'm looking at events for next year that are happening around that time. I'm not really seeing anything that's popping up for October.
But guys, don't forget, there at Equip Expo, we are in booth 42832. 42832. Stop by the booth, jump on the air. Jennifer and I is going to be there most of the day. We will be walking around doing interviews with mics and stuff. Wayne's going to be there. Darren's going to be in Wednesday at lunch. Luke's coming in. I think Luke's coming in tomorrow afternoon. He's actually going to be there with us at the prayer breakfast, helping get all that set up. But we are going to have a blast. So join us, booth number 42832. We are right there at Hardscape North America. So Jennifer and I are going to try to do a video tomorrow, actually like walking in to Equip Expo. Like we are attendees. We're going to walk in and show you. It'll be up on the Turfette Up Radio News YouTube page. That way you can actually see a visual on how to find us. But you're not going to be able to miss us, I don't think, sweetie. That booth's going to look sharp. We're going to be dressed sharp in the black Turfette Up Radio shirts. That blonde hair up against it. That's just going to be awesome.
Well, you know what I think? I think of Men in Black.
Yeah.
You know, with the little zappers.
Yeah.
To zap people's memories. We're going to zap you guys as you walk by. That's just going to pull you in.
We will. And if it's anything like Waterpalooza was last week, people were fascinated because I loved it when you were like, guys, we were the only radio station dedicated to the green industry. And that's when people's eyes lit up. And when you told them that's when they were taking pictures of the QR code and downloading the app right there. And we had them lined up for interviews. We got to get all of those edited and put up on the podcast so those guys and gals can actually hear themselves and download a link and use it for marketing in their business. So that was a lot of fun.
That was fun. And it made the day go by faster.
When you interview.
Yeah. When you're having fun.
Yeah. We were laughing, joking, carrying on with these people. We couldn't go get refills on our Cokes and that good barbecue that they had. I'm like, look, they're putting it away. No, I want one more plate.
You know, I just said to Eric when we went to break, I said, and people wonder how we find things to talk about for 8 hours. If you just listen to us on the radio, you will quickly learn how we find things to talk about. So it is not hard for us to sit and interview people all day because it comes natural.
It does.
To me and you.
It does. And, we're going through big changes, and I told you coming up here, I said, sweetie, we're going to get up here, we're going to be around all this equipment, and it's going to make me not want to retire from landscaping. And you're like, no, you are. And so, guys, we are. We have really done some thinking, and we're thinking about 100% selling our actual landscape business and focusing on Turfette Up Radio and our teaching with Turf Teacher. So,
I think from a wife's perspective and
business partner, but also an outside perspective, coming in and watching and observing and seeing, what's been going on and what needs to be changed and the complications that are there. Just for you, it's not just a business decision, which it is. The bulk of it is 100% a business decision. I don't want to take away from that at all. We look at this from a business perspective. But from a personal passion perspective, you are not passionate about maintenance. When it comes to landscape maintenance, you are not passionate about that at all. No.
To you, it's almost a dread when it's that.
Well, I've done it my entire career, other than what time I was in the military. That's what my parents had me do in middle school and high school. And Darren was talking this morning, starting his business at an early age, like 11. I was doing the same thing, but I was working for mom and dad. I was being pushed by them and had the whip hit me if I wasn't pushing the mower fast enough and stuff like that. So I think I'm just burnt out, but I absolutely love teaching it.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. So I'm glad you segued into that because truly that is where your passion is. Now I want to take a step back and I want our listeners to hear when I say this. For Eric to make the decision to sell the landscape company, it is a blessing that he has other resources that allows him the opportunity to make that decision. I don't want to take away from listeners that are not passionate about it because there are probably listeners out there that run a business that they're not truly passionate about, but it's been a source of income.
It's motivation, and sometimes it's a lack of motivation, and motivation will either wane at times or will be really elevated at times.
That's a good point.
Coming to Equip Expo, everybody's going to get motivated and want to go back and hustle and do the right thing. My point is, I have to choose what I want to do. Mm-hmm. And I love design. I love design build. I love landscape architecture. Like that is my passion. But also teaching it is my passion. And for us to be able to come to Expo and stay a week, to be able to go to Green and Grow and stay a week, to go to Waterpalooza, to go to all these events with Turfette Radio and do what we love together and still have our consulting business is look at all the guys at Waterpalooza that came up and had sold their business but started a consulting business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there were quite a few.
Yeah.
There were quite a few, which there again, building that next step, planning it, putting the proper
Succession
things
planning.
in place. Yeah, it 100%. You hit it right, nail on the head. Succession planning. It is important. Even if you're in your 20s, you want to make sure that you've got at least a generic succession plan.
Yeah.
How are you going to, who are you going to teach to take over your business? Is it going to be your wife, your son, your daughter? If it's not family, who are you teaching to take over the business?
Well,
if succession is really something that
or
you
sell
want.
it, or just completely sell it. We've had a lot of people in our turf teacher classes that have actually sold their businesses to their employees, and it has worked out smoothly. And so these are some of the guys that I want to get on the podcast and radio station here to talk about that. But you know what? Tony Bass, and you met Tony last year, Super Lawn Trucks. Tony's been a good friend of mine for years. We were together with the Christmas Decor franchise system back in the 90s. And Tony told me, he said, Eric, the only reason to start a landscape business is to sell it one day. I mean, he did.
It's true.
He said, build something that's got value, that's got money, that is something that somebody else is going to be like, wow, I need that business. And you're able to walk away and either focus on something else or cash out and retire, and then start that consulting. Tony got out of Bass Custom Landscapes because his passion was with Super Lawn Trucks. He was developing and selling these trucks to help landscapers. Look at what we're doing with Turf Teacher and Turfette Radio. We're helping people. And that's where the passion is. So it's not that I'm getting out of landscaping. I will maintain every license till the day I die. But the one thing, guys, that really has sparked my interest, and since we've talked about selling the landscape business, was to focus on getting that PhD. So seeing Dr. Sneed at Waterpalooza, like that's my colleagues. So I want to see on my tombstone, which it ain't gonna matter because I'll never see my tombstone. But I wanted to say, here lies the turf teacher, Eric Jones, PhD. So married to the Turfette. But that's education is where I am, and that is what Turfette Radio is. I love it. We're educating the green industry. We're not influencing it. We're educating, and we're telling people the hard truth. I not only want to be a role model for somebody, but I also want to be their failure model and let them know it's okay to make mistakes. I've made plenty of them. And once you make that mistake, that's the most expensive education you'll ever pay for.
Well, and I like what you said about we're not influencers, we're educators. Educators are influencers.
Yeah,
whether they like it or not, educators are influencers. But you can't influence somebody
without
for anything without knowledge of what you're trying to influence for. You can have basic knowledge. You can have a larger scale of knowledge. But if you're not if you're not educating yourself, this is what drives me mad sometimes about some of our students that come to our classes that sit and pay for these classes, but they don't care to learn. They're just there to get the credits. But in order to be the best in the business, if you're constantly learning something new and educating yourself, you're remotivating. You're getting yourself new inspiration for the next few weeks because, hey, I learned something new. What I like that you've done this year is classes that we're offering for next year. We kind of took things a different level on a few of the classes, which I'm really excited about what we're getting to teach next year. Because next year I'll be on board helping teach some of those classes. So I, as an educator, I want to be able to re-inspire some of these people.
Yes.
Motivate them, give them a new energy. Because a lot of times as business owners, we lack it. Yeah, because it's just
life does it.
Yeah. It does. And I hope that we can bring that energy to the table next year. That's definitely our goal, is to inspire and re-energize these.
I've thought of a hashtag for that.
What's that?
Mowtivation.
Yeah, Mo.
M-O-W-tivation.
I like it.
Motivation.
You better coin it now before somebody else
Before
takes
somebody
it.
else gets it, yes. You heard it first here on Turf's Up Radio.
Right. But no, you're 100% right. In order for people to feel motivated, they have to feel confident about the information you've given them.
Yeah.
And confidence comes from learning and building that knowledge base and educating yourself. And as educators, that's what we want to do. We want to help build that knowledge base.
Yeah.
And sometimes old hat can tend to forget that taking a refresher course, you might forget some details that you were taught that now all of a sudden they're being brought back out. I forgot about that. Yep. I got so used to this routine or doing this way that I totally forgot that this is an option. So
just think about Dirk, our chiropractor. He's talking about when he goes for his continuing education, it's 2 full days. He gets like 20 hours, and this guy teaches it in like 10 hour one day and 10 hour the next day, and he gets it all done. There he has a doctorate degree and still required to get continuing education. And like he says, I actually learned something in these classes. He said, I go to the same guy every year because he's coming up with these new ideas and techniques to help me in my business. That's what continuing education should be. Now, you were talking about our courses that we just got approved, and I am tickled. I have never been so happy. Guys, this is the first time that I've been in Louisville, Kentucky for Equip Expo, and all of my continuing education classes have been approved by both the Landscape Contractors Board, the Irrigation Contractors Board, and the North Carolina Department of Agriculture. For North Carolina, our bread and butter state when it comes to continuing education, all 20 hours. So we have a 10-hour irrigation day, a 7-hour landscape day, and then we have an additional 3 hours that we can teach for landscape. So there's 20 courses there, and then look at the numerous pesticide classes that's been approved. So you and I are going to rock and roll, come January, hitting it hard. Which actually right after Christmas, we're doing our first, full 10-hour day with that. But you're going to be able to teach because it's the landscape design classes. You've already had those classes. You were rocking and rolling in that class. And you, my dear, learned so much. I saw it from day one till the end of the class. You knocked it out of the water. Everybody was scared. Everybody panics in that class because it's, you talking about being high speed and having that high energy level. You have to have it to complete that, to learn that much in a short 8-week condensed class. You guys did phenomenal. And
basic concept of fractions.
Yes. Why am I going back to 10th grade geometry and 8th grade fractions?
Understanding fractions and geometry, that is a big part of landscape design. But, I'm an artist at heart anyway because I'm a musician. A musician is part of the arts program. Drawing has never really been my forte, but I've enjoyed coloring. Yeah. Like growing up as a kid, my mom would buy me coloring books and crayons and couldn't keep me in coloring books and crayons.
Well, look at your sketchbook. You did phenomenal.
I surprised myself, Eric. I really did.
Yes.
I surprised myself. My first sketch was like, oh, okay, that went good. But one of the sketches you gave us required shading and filling in the color. And I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this. But then when I got it done, I was like, wow, I actually did that. Well, I'm impressed with myself.
What does it take? What do I always
Just draw.
Just draw.
Just draw.
Start.
I think
Just
we're
start.
too, that is a really good concept about life itself.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
We're so hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
We really are.
Me. Like,
I've seen you be hard on yourself
Really?
before. Yeah, I've seen you be hard on yourself. I've been with you long enough. I've seen about every facet there is of you. If there are any facets of you that I haven't seen, I'm waiting. So just let me know when you're going to show those. But no, you tend to be hard on yourself sometimes.
yeah. Yeah. And I think, but when it comes to the confidence that I have in my industry and to stand up in front, look at Green and Grow. Look how many people I'm going to speak in front of. I mean, it'll be 500 people plus in a room to get pesticide credits.
Now that I'm looking forward to watching.
See me in
you
that.
do.
That,
yes. I mean, because I get to see you do it all the time anyway, but this is going to be on a different platform.
Yeah.
And I've not seen you on this type of platform when it comes to teaching and how and who you teach. So as your wife, I'm really excited to watch that take place.
Yeah.
But, what you said, just doing something. Fear is a liar.
Fear is
Truly a liar. It is something to make you think that all these bad things might happen if I choose to do this. But you know what? I had to learn a long time ago. I can either let fear win and I lose and never know what could have possibly been, or I could take a leap of faith and jump in and do it and then realize, okay, I done it. I failed at it. Now I know. Big whoop
deal.
and do.
Yeah.
But if I had moved on and never tried, I think I would have always regretted not trying.
People are so afraid to take that L, and you have to. And it's the same thing with, like, every kid gets a trophy nowadays. Kids need to learn from an early age that it's okay to lose. Mm-hmm. It's not the end of the world. Take that L, learn from it. There's no such thing as a loss. Either I win or I learn from it. Mm-hmm. So that L that I'm talking about is not a loss. It's a learning opportunity. And so what? Take advantage of that and go for it and help somebody else. Hey, man, I made this mistake. Don't do this, especially in business, especially when it comes to marriage, especially. So many guys are out there struggling, working all the time. Do I go home early and spend time with the wife and kids? But I know I've got to get these yards mowed. I've got to get this work done because if not, I've got a tuition payment coming up or, everything like that that's going on in life. Entrepreneurs and small business owners struggle with that every day. And so if you've made that mistake, help it. Get on the radio with us. Tell your story about how you've done it. Work-life balance for me doesn't exist, does it?
I don't think that there really is or truly is a work-life balance. I think you just learn to balance whatever you have.
Yeah. And if you want to work 75 hours a week, do it if that's what makes you happy. But if you need to put on the brakes and slow down a bit, do that. But you and I never work a day in our life because we love everything that we do.
We
love
do.
It.
But it is so important, though, to strike a balance when it comes to family.
Yes.
Especially if you have small children, you're not going to get those
You won't
days
get that time back.
No, you will not. So I do think it's important to structure your job, your hours in a way that you can focus on your family when the important things happen, because you need to be there. Those will be moments you will regret not being a part of. Because, I've heard this so many times when people are laying on their deathbed, getting ready to pass over to the next life, you never hear them complain about working
too much. Working more.
I should have worked more. What the number one complaint you normally hear is, I wish I had taken more time with my family.
Yep.
And that is where the work-life balance kicks in. But there is no set recipe or a set cookie cutter that fits everybody the same way.
No.
You have to balance your work-life balance according to your
To you.
family and your needs. So
Yeah.
don't look to the Joneses and try to balance your work-life balance based on ours, because it's probably not going to work for you.
Keeping up with the Jones is
Because you are probably going to crash about 3 days in. It's like, we can't do this.
Really?
Or you can outrun us. It's one or the other. So either way, you're not keeping up with us.
No.
So we are running our own pace the way we run it, and it works for us. So you just have to do what works for you and your family, and not take too much pressure from outside influences trying to tell you something different.
Yeah. And that is good advice. Because it's different, and it's different in every stage of life.
It is.
So
It is.
the good thing about working for yourself, though, is if your kid has a play at school, you can put that mowing on hold, go watch them, and stay a little later and watch it. Or if they got a soccer game tomorrow night, you stay out later the night before getting it done, so you can work around it. So
Yeah.
that's the good thing.
That is the beauty of working for yourself. And, not everybody has that opportunity. And I wish they did.
Yeah.
But for some people, working for themselves doesn't make them happy. They're happier working for somebody. So,
Yeah.
again, you've got to do what works for you and your family. And if you and your family decide that this is the balance that works well for you guys, then run with it.
Yeah.
Take it, run with it. You just got to find what fits for you, but don't be afraid to take that step, because sometimes not taking that step is the very moment you'll regret for the rest of your life, because how will you ever know what truly could have been or what truly could have taken place if you haven't given yourself the permission to take a leap of faith?
Yeah. Good advice from the Turfette.
Well,
she knows.
I've had to learn things the hard way, and I'm still
here.
learning.
Yeah.
I really am. I don't know it all. I don't.
Is that our stubbornness? Because I've had to learn the hard way too. Like, I'm as stubborn as they come.
20 years ago, I would have never agreed to the statement that Jennifer is stubborn. I would have never agreed to that. And I really wasn't, to a certain extent. I think the majority of my personality was a bend and move to whatever wave or flow I was in. I gave way a lot to a lot of people that was in turn ended up being detrimental to me, and eventually detrimental to my kids.
Yeah.
So I had to learn some hard things the hard way. I went to the school of hard knocks, unfortunately. But hopefully what I learned in the school of hard knocks, I think I've been a much better mother in leading my boys and trying to show them, that's not going to work, because they've seen their mom see that it doesn't work. So sometimes the school of hard knocks is what some people just have to go through, especially people that are just so gun-ho and focused on making something happen. They just mow everything down in their path. And sometimes it's not always the best direction to go.
Yeah. That's right. The school of hard knocks.
But
it's almost like
this
design
week,
school.
I know. But this week we're going to be at the School of Expo.
That's right. That's right.
And if you got any questions about the expo itself, just go to Equip Expo. I think it's the equipexposition.com. There's
Or just Google it.
Or Google it. It pops up on Google. It's number one.
Download the app.
Search. Yeah.
I've already got the app on the phone.
Yeah, the app works. It has a map on there where you can map out where certain booths are, who the exhibitors are. So make sure you look up Turf's Up Radio. Our booth number is 42832. 42832.
You got it memorized. Go, girl.
We are in the hardscapes of North America, and
right outside of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I heard we were close to the cornhole tournament and the drone area. So that should be an exciting little area we'll be at. But there's so much to see. So make sure, map out your day. Get the map it out, but make sure you include Turf's Up as one of the stops.
Yes, you better. We want you on the air. Come by, drop your business card in the ballot box. Have a chance to win whatever prize we've decided. We hadn't really talked with the other.
It must be something pretty special because they've kept it under wraps.
Yeah, that's true.
So if they're keeping it under wraps from me and you, then it must be pretty special.
It could be a signed pair of New Balance from Wayne. You know, I don't know. What do they call it when athletes, you know, switch teams? They're a part of what? What is that actually called?
I don't have a clue. You're asking the wrong person.
Collegiate athletes?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Well,
where they have like an agent now and they're actually getting paid.
I don't have a clue.
You know,
I really don't, and I'm not even going to sit here and act like I know because I don't know.
but yeah, you got you know, like everybody's fighting over Wayne's, you know, since he's the most popular DJ. So,
well, before we go off air, I do want to throw in a quick little feed here on the prayer breakfast that's happening on Wednesday morning. The Equipment Expo floors do not open until noon for ticket holders. It is open, I think, from 9 to 12 for pre-show for certain people. But if you are a general admission ticket holder, you can't get into the expo until 12 o'clock on Wednesday. So that means you're going to have breakfast somewhere. So why not have breakfast for free on us at the prayer breakfast at Crown Plaza across the way from the expo for free. Be there or be square. It opens at 6:30. Breakfast is served, and it starts at 7 o'clock with Mike Singletary from the Chicago Bears.
That's right, and I cannot wait for it to see everybody there. Ron Scheffler from Bobcat, Craig, Lee. I mean, the whole gang is going to be there, so it's going to be high fives and hugs. So
it's going to be fun.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us here. We're live in Louisville. Don't forget, tomorrow morning we'll be live again, 8 to 9, here from our downtown studio apartment here in Louisville, Kentucky. So this is the Turf Teacher signing out. I'll see you in the next lecture.
And this is the Turfette.